Good evening. I'd like to welcome everyone to the August 11th, 2026 Verona Borough Council Business Meeting. Please join us if you're able and speak for a pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please, Mr. Russell.
Councilmember Sperling.
Present.
Councilmember Camellis. Present. Councilmember Rodriguez.
Present.
Councilmember Carpenter.
Present.
Councilmember Redzak.
Present.
Councilmember Provenza.
Present.
Councilmember Loaldo.
Present. Very good. We'll be coming back to item 4. Item 5, are there any additional agenda items? Moving on to section 6, registered comments from the public. We are very delighted first to be joined tonight by State Rep Joe McAndrew, who has a special citation presentation for our one and only Shirley Davis. We'd like to invite Shirley and Joe up front.
Come on, Shirley, you got something. All right, so is it okay if I grab this wrong? No. The camera's right there, so I know what we're listening.
I can see him behind you.
All right, so Shirley Davis held the 250th anniversary ceremony for the municipality this year, but also, can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
But also, I think it's working for the TV. It's working. It's working. Okay. So anyways, to recall, Shirley Davis here is being recognized tonight. One, and first and foremost, she hosted the 250th anniversary of our nation's birth here in Verona this year, which was a wonderful celebration out in the park, and that was really able to promote the patriotism of our United States of America here in Verona. But also, this proclamation is for your retirement. Right? So you'll be retired after 37 years. So here it is. Whereas, something that's the wrong one. Let's Nick the Tools.
She's much better looking.
Well, it's Nick's proclamation too.
Okay.
Whereas the House of Representatives is always proud to acknowledge individuals who, through their hard work and determination, have excelled, achieved, succeeded, and served in inspiration of others. And whereas Shirley Davis is a tireless volunteer who strives to make Verona a better place to live, work, and enjoy recreational activities. Born and raised in Verona, Ms. Davis for 37 years has dedicated her life to the Verona United Methodist Church, which partners with the Twin Boroughs Health Ministries, a group housed in the church made up of members from local congregations from all churches in Verona and Oakland. And Ms. Davis has chaired a multitude of free events at the church open to residents of all communities, including a monthly community dinner, a summer lunch, and a camp program for children, a food pantry, a clothes closet, and blessings in a backpack. Ms. Davis actively organizes and chairs annual fundraisers such as an apple dumpling sale in October, cookie sales and flea markets to help the church, and the Twin Borough Ministries continue to provide invaluable community service. And whereas Ms. Davis is acutely aware of the needs of veterans, so when individuals come to her looking for such necessities as food, clothing, and furniture, she diligently works to fulfill those needs. This year, she voluntarily stepped up to chair the Verona Borough's America 250th celebration on July 11th, a day-long event providing food, entertainment, and family-centered activities in Railroad Park. As Verona does not have a borough recreational department to organize activities. Well, whereas the Verona, she's focused on recreational activities. And all volunteer recreational activity board is because, excuse me, I'm going to restart. This year, she volunteered to step up to chair Verona Borough's America 250 celebration on July 11th, a day-long event providing food, entertainment, and family-centered activities in Railroad Park. As Verona does not have a borough recreational department to organize activities, only an all-volunteer recreational advisory board, it is because volunteers like Ms. Davis, who isn't even on the board, that residents and friends can enjoy community-centered events. And whereas Miss Davis also does other volunteer work in the borough, including helping the Lower Valley Athletic Association. Whereas the Commonwealth is always pleased to recognize those individuals who, through their wisdom, service, and experience, have contributed to the enrichment and betterment of the Commonwealth and its citizens. Now, therefore, let it be resolved. The House of Representatives of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania honors Shirley Davis and directs a copy of the citation, sponsored by myself, to Shirley Davis today, August 11th.
The only thing that I would like to say is that the applicant is done by Barb and Tom Clary. I'm just part of the group. So many of the groups that you mentioned, I'm part of, but without a community, none of these things would ever happen. So thank you very much to everybody that helps. Thank you.
Thanks, Shirley, for all of your work for our community. It's very much appreciated. You make such a profound difference in Corona and beyond. And thank you, Joe, for joining us tonight for helping us honor our community.
I have to stick around now for all these, see all these people are here.
We have a second registered comment from the public this evening. To give a little bit of context, I'd like to let everyone know, in case you may not be on social media, that the borough is extremely delighted to have received positive news on 2 consecutive days last week. The first is that the borough was awarded a Green Lights Go grant in the amount of $232,340 that our engineer Matt Pitch will expand upon his report, but it's to update the signal at Rivertown Plaza. So we're very excited about that. The second is a $100,000 no match grant that is a collaboration between Verona Chamber of Commerce and the Borough of Verona to remake our Diamond Way Alley into the Diamond Way destination. So we're very excited to be joined here tonight by a couple members of our Chamber of Commerce, Jen Wilzer and Jess. I don't know if you'd like to speak. And another special guest here in Verona, Ashley Piper, if I'm saying that correctly. So I'd like to invite you and whoever else would like to come to the podium to expand to the council and the community a bit more about this exciting project.
Hello, Marina. I'm happy to be here. I assisted the chamber with the proposal to Allegheny County to create a destination in their alley. I'm a landscape architect and public artist. I've been working with the Rivers of Seal Heritage Corporation and Goodson the last 4 years doing community development work for communities like yours. I come from a background of academia. I was a landscape architecture professor for 20 years. And so have been working in this way in Iowa and West Virginia, where I taught, now in Pittsburgh. Work with nonprofit organizations and boroughs like yourself to put together grant proposals to try to make our communities more enlivening space. And so this is a park space that will, I'm calling it a park space, but remember, I'm a landscape architect, so everything is a park space. But transferring it from a place that is occupied primarily by cars and it's not pedestrian friendly to a place that's very vibrant with public art and opportunities for the space to be also, help both of the kinds of businesses behind them become, more vibrant, both during the day, but also in the evening.
Yeah, and we see this as a space that can be used for pedestrian use. We can close it for events, but it's also still a three-way for that. And we think it'll be very beneficial for the business district and for the community. I guess our ask, should we say why we're presenting here, covered?
Well, I can just add that council, you'll see it under action items tonight is a resolution to accept the Main Trace Allegheny funding and move forward with the project with our manager being the point of contact and lead of this project. We will form a steering committee, obviously.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, questions for Jen or Ashley? I'm sorry if I missed this, Ashley, but could you say like just in general, like a couple of the municipalities that you might have worked with that you may know?
Absolutely. So, with Rivers of Steel Heritage Corporation, I worked with, Nagahela, Brownsville. I'm in Rankin right now, doing food forestry work. And all over the state of West Virginia, I led the citizen outreach with the university itself. So I think many advisors of the different communities that are very positive. So.
All right, if there's no other questions or comments. Our agenda, we're very excited to see this work progress. So thank you for your work. We will skip back then to item 4. We are very excited at our growing and successful police department here in Verona. This evening, we're excited to swear in Patrol Officer Kevin Jackson. We'll have you come, Mayor.
Approved. Repeat after me, raise your right hand, repeat after me. I state your name,
I, Brendan Jackson,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
or affirm that I will support,
or affirm that I will support,
obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States
and defend the Constitution of the United States
of America and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
and that I do further swear
and that I do further swear,
that I will fully discharge the duties,
and that I will
fully discharge the duties of my position
of my position
with fidelity,
with fidelity,
honor,
honor,
and
and
integrity.
integrity.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, without further ado, then that brings us to section 7, comments from the public. At this time, council will hear comments from residents and business owners on public related matters. Please approach the podium or raise your virtual hand. Clearly state your name and address and try and limit your comments to 3 minutes or less. Comments should focus on borough business, policies, or actions. Council encourages thoughtful feedback on decisions and performance while maintaining respectful and constructive dialogue. Judy, welcome.
Judy Williams, 534 Ridge Avenue, we're on the TA. Questions. First one is handicap spots. If you park in a handicap spot on the street, like North Avenue, South Avenue, or whatever, and you're in one of those handicap spots and those people pay for it. Well, if you're handicapped, can you park in that, or is that their space?
You can park.
Okay, and I also want to thank everybody. Our church, the Trinity Lutheran Church on Main Street in Bruna, we were able to, we had packed 100 backpacks for the event last Tuesday. And we gave out 70 of them. And we have about 30 left. So if anybody knows anybody that needs a backpack or whatever, you can get a hold of me and I will try to get it to whoever needs it. They're down at the church. Plus somebody, one of our church members came in and brought in somebody who dropped off a ton of supplies, backpacks and everything. So we have probably another 60 or 70 backpacks to start next year, because we had to get somebody, an anonymous donor stepped up and bought us like 100 backpacks. So we wouldn't have been able to do that. But I just wanted to thank everybody who turned out for it. it was a great evening for us too. We really liked it. Thank you.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Katie.
Okay, my name's Evan Bennett, 408 Union. At the last borough meeting, I asked council to consider adopting the authority to provide under Pennsylvania law, which allows municipalities to reserve handicap parking spaces for a specific vehicle. It's a meeting I was told by the borough manager. We discussed the matter with the borough attorney. And report back to council. I appreciate the borough took the time to review the issue. Here tonight to ask whether the legal review has been completed, whether the borough attorney has provided an opinion. Could that opinion, conclusion be shared with council or the public today and figure out kind of where we're at with that. In a good, the main reason why I bring this up, I'm probably 60 feet from the new restaurant that opened up and I have a handicap spot there and I can't park there. It's just not possible. The information that I have provided has all the laws and statutes already running. You guys have it. I just would like a response to that and whether or not we can move forward with it.
Thanks, Mr. Bennett, for coming back and for presenting your proposal. We are still reviewing it. I promise we have not forgotten. We may have some other options we'd like to discuss with you too. So it's okay to get back to you by the end of the week.
That will be fine.
Thank you very much. Are there other comments from the public?
Yes.
Hi, Leslie.
Hi. I want to give you these first of all. You'll have some visual, but I know you got my email yesterday.
Yes, we did.
Okay, thank you. I've been doing this for years.
Leslie, can you just get your name and address for the minutes, please?
Pardon me?
Your name and address.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I thought y'all knew me all.
Everybody does, but the minutes down.
Wesley Bergamasco, 569 North Avenue. Okay. My was on council for 19 years. They called them the 3 Bs. Roderick, Berry, Bergamasco. I remember as a kid getting calls. Oh, there goes the phone again. Oh, somebody needs something. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, he's getting chewed out. Blah, blah, blah. He addressed situation that was any. I don't know who or what. I'm not stating names, but anyway, nothing gets taken care of. It gets swept under. For 17 inches of grass. It shouldn't have gone to 5 inches. I don't know why you're all on council. I would feel gratified if I said, oh my God, I took care of so and so, or you know what, I gave him my. I mean, it's not, this doesn't take a brain surgeon. This is just common sense. I mean, to live next and the little guy, oh yeah, the little guy that used to go around in the car with the light on. I'm gonna tell you what, when you saw him, you knew he was on a mission and something was gonna be taken care of. I know y'all got rid of him, but you know what? He took this woman to then she took action and it was all, you know, I mean, I've got a weed whack on my side to stop everything that's growing, let alone what's underneath it. But anyway, I thank you for your time. And if you think you can, do you have an ordinance for this or what?
Yeah, we'll be forwarding it to the.
I mean,
Yeah.
Mr. Jamelis, I understand, was harassed about his place. I didn't see anything. I mean, 17 inches is
It's currently with the magistrate.
Pardon me?
It's currently with the magistrate.
Oh, it is. Oh, hey, you gave me some light. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Leslie.
Yeah.
Other comments from the public? Hi, Chief.
Fire Chief, the Volunteer Fire Company, 465 Street. The reason I am up here tonight is to address council. I received a phone call from concerned citizens over the weekend. It's some hearsay of done well. I was not able to provide answers to their questions because I was blindsided by myself. And I tried to get up the rumor until the phone call came into me. then spoke with my assistant chief, who confirmed he heard the same thing on a fire scene on Saturday. That there are rumors that our borough council met with Oklahoma's borough council, discussed mergers as a police and fire. So I'm asking council tonight, if they can please provide the answers to this rumor, the public and the department.
Yes, I can answer that definitively. There is no meeting. It has been no discussion. We haven't had to have discussion on the merger of any fire.
Okay. We had a meeting last night and hopefully we will got maybe any discussion.
I would talk to you.
It's very,
Yes.
and we would appreciate doing that.
Well, not even on the radar thing.
No, I don't know.
Never happened.
Thank you for addressing it with us and for everyone to hear from Sarah. Really, you're being encouraged. I want to encourage continued discussion with all of you when there's any concern. Thank you, Tom. Other comments from the public? Yeah, very good. With that, we'll move on to section 8 reports. The first is the council president's report. That's first, I just want to open up with a reminder. If there's one theme for this year is back. We have a new council, we have a new borough manager, a lot of new staff. What we're doing right now is building our foundation. Earlier this year, council made our first ever code of conduct. It's posted behind us. We're doing everything in our power to promote professionalism and efficiency and communication. By extension, we ask the same of all of you to continue to be engaged, to continue to come with us with concerns and questions. And even in meetings tonight, we appreciate anyone who is maybe harder of hearing to come up towards the front, sit closer to us. We are happy to make room. Anyone who may need to step out or maybe has to attend to a family member to sit towards the back. And for both council and the community, if we can all minimize side conversations so that everyone can be heard clearly when they're speaking, that would enable us all to continue to have the most efficient meeting possible here too. I also want to remind everyone there's some flyers at the podium in the back, but council would like to feed you dinner. We'll be sponsoring the Vernon Methodist Church Day dinner this month. That's Wednesday the 26th from 4:30 to 6:30. Thank you everyone for contributing your financial contribution. I think I have even split from suggest. Last but not least, we have updated our revised council committees. They are accurately reflected on our website, and we'll print out for anyone who wants them later tonight or by next week today. I look forward to everyone regrouping and working together in some of our strategic initiatives that we've outlined at the beginning of this year and throughout the year. Any questions or comments on anything I said? With that, then we will move on to item B, the mayor's report. Mr. Mayor.
I have a few things. There's more and more talk about data centers and more communities are making ordinances. And I know some of you are going to say, well, they can't come in Verona because they don't have no room. There's a lot of room in Verona. Room Boulevard to Barger Street. If all those companies were to sell out to some big data center company, got over there, Rob Roy's and Bunting, money talks, and they could easily sell. I mean, it's not that we're landlocked. Well, I mean, we are landlocked, but there are places that they could come in for the right price if people would sell their properties, the bigger properties that we have throughout the time. And I just like to put it on everybody's radar to think about it, go online, look at it. There is some noise that is created by them, from what I understand. I'm going to be honest with you, I don't really understand these data centers, but they're, starting to become more and more throughout the world and throughout the United States, which is part of the world. So I'd like to consider, have council to consider what other communities are doing as far as the data center, and putting in place some type of ordinance. I have no idea what you can do. My understanding is you cannot reject a business from coming into town, but you can have certain ordinances noise, and so on and so forth. And one thing I don't understand, and I don't know if it's true, but they keep saying that our water bill is gonna go up, our electric bill is gonna go up. Nobody pays my electric bill when I was in business, let alone water bill. But why should we pay for these big companies? It's just something that I'd like to put on the radar for this board. The other thing I have is tree trimming. I met with the borough manager and vice president and president last night, and they are gonna be trimmed. The manager said that throughout the town. Who's doing that?
Tree Pittsburgh.
And it's gonna be done at no charge?
Yes, so I'm waiting for them to submit a proposal. The areas that they were looking at is Railroad Park, East Railroad, and ARB. Trimming all the trees off of there, and that would be at no charge. So once we get their proposal, we'll have it from council.
Right. And we also went over the storm on Friday night, a lot of debris on the roads and sidewalk. And 2 questions for Mr. Fitch. The Arch Street project, how's that coming as far as the list of things that need to be done?
We have all the valve and cap sprays. They finished that last week. We're waiting on a quote, inlets that needed to be raised. They were having trouble finding the correct size riser for them. So they're working on a quote for that for us. And then they should be here later this week, early next week to take care of the street. They have a crew that's gonna be finishing similar items in Oakmont. They're gonna split their time between the 2 of us.
And what about the speed hump?
That will be later this week, early next week, when the animal is available.
The garage right across from the basketball court, right next to that new house that's being built.
Yes, I talked to the owner about that, and when they have some hot asphalt, they're gonna try to get that, get a wedge in there behind the curb. That way he can get the car in and out.
From what I understand, he has an older Corvette, and they're probably about 10 inches off the ground.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I talked to him yesterday,
Okay.
and I'm gonna talk with the, initially it was gonna be gravel or dirt, but when they have asphalt on hand, I'm gonna see if they can do that for him.
All right, and the other thing, I guess you're aware of the sinkhole on Parker Street.
Yeah, they just did that work, finished that work yesterday. AJ sent me the picture. I suspect they just didn't get the gravel compacted well enough. So I'll be in talks with the contractor. We'll keep an eye on it. My thoughts are to let it sit another week or so to make sure it doesn't sink anymore, and then he'll be back to fix that.
Okay, I did send the borough manager an email for the street department to go up there and they put a cone there so nobody runs into it. Just let the fire department know on top where they were working, it's starting to sink. Anyway,
Got it.
that's all I have at this time.
Okay, very good. Questions from the mayor? If not, we'll move on. We have next the item C, the borough manager's report, including among other things, an update from the community garden.
Yes, so I've prepared a report for council, kind of covering the administrative side of the borough. This was a very busy month for us. We prepared for our annual audit. It happens every year. That's, a successful audit is how we get funding through the Department of Community and Economic Development. It takes a couple of weeks of preparation. From the auditors, we get a long list of documents that they would like to see ahead of time. They physically come here, they review all those documents, they go in the back, they pull some files, some receipts at random to make sure that we're in compliance. Everything, they indicated that there was no red flags when they left. They seemed pretty positive about it. Everything's kind of pointing that it's going to be pretty successful, which is good because that will open up some funding that we're kind of waiting on. There have been some changes to the website that I've worked on, updating the committees, some minor things. I spoke with the Verona newsletter. We're starting an initiative to get the newsletter on digitally and maybe send it out via text message as well. So that's ready to go once we get some information from the newsletter. I met with our new council member, prepared an onboarding document. And our regular items like coding for purchased items, meeting with our bookkeeper, running payroll. Teresa, the admin assistant, has prepared kept track this month of what quantity of items she handles. We had 86 submissions for code enforcement that she was able to take care of. We prepared 11 lien letters and did 15 different accounting sort of tasks. Those were kind of the major items that she handled for the past couple of days. And with that, I will move on to, was there any questions with my report? I'll move on to the community garden report. They sent over a report to me. I sent it along to council, and I want to point out just a couple of things here. They sent over a list of bed reservations 2025, 2026. With that, they've indicated that as of 2026, the people who expressed interest, no people are on the waiting list as of the date listed. So that would be May 26th. There's nobody currently on the wait list. They provided a map with some of their initiatives. They had volunteer days, 2 Saturdays in April, along with some pictures. So yeah, I think it was a good report to kind of keep us aware of everything that they're taking care of down there. Any questions for the community garden report? If not, I'll move on to DPW.
Great, please do.
So I've also prepared a DPW report for this month. The project I'd like to spotlight, and probably what took most of DPW's time this month, has been curb painting. So handicap spots, painting over handicap spots that are no longer in compliance. Maybe they didn't submit some paperwork. Maybe that person has moved. They added a handicap spot in front of Fritz field. We didn't have a handicap spot around there, so I thought it'd be useful to have one. They refreshed a lot of different areas, curbs that were painting when they were out. They were mobilizing their equipment. They did some work at Riverbank Park. They included replaced rotting sections of wood, and they filled a pothole along with the regular scheduled items, cutting grass. And they did some work at the public dock. It was some pieces were rusted, so they worked to secure those. Yeah, we had not a whole lot of park time, besides the items indicated. Most of their time was spent on the road. And that's it. Any questions for DPW?
It's like, yeah. Would you mind walking us through the code enforcement report as well?
Yes. So Jamie Shaw, our code officer, has prepared a report for us. For the code enforcement side, there were 46 new cases added. So even though Teresa submitted some reports, some of those were already in the system. But every report that we get, we do put it in the system and leave it up to our code officer to kind of weed out which ones might be duplicates for the same issue. With that, 21 courtesy inspections happened. There was 11 violation letters. We found total 7 violations with 28 follow-up inspections scheduled, and the district magistrate has 3 charges before him. For the occupancy inspection side of it, we had 28 initial inspections, 9 courtesy re-inspections, 20 permits issued with a total of 37 inspections, and 1 zoning inspection. And that's an overview of code enforcement.
I have a question on that. How many citations we're giving out for high grass and what have you?
So 30% of the violations that we get are for high grass. 7 the violations that go out, 7 of them went out this month, and there's 3 that are currently in front, scheduled to be in front of the magistrate.
That we are going to the magistrate, or the people that got them are going to the magistrate and fighting?
It would be both.
We're taking them to the magistrate. They're gonna show up and contest it. They could show up and contest it. Not necessarily they will. Jamie has taken them to the magistrate. Now they have the opportunity to come and show up and contest it.
Like, I mean, is he citing them? Is that why they're going to
That's
the,
the only way they get there.
I mean, we got Wildwood Avenue, I believe it's 524, Mrs. Monroe, that house. Weeds are up again. They should be getting cited every day. Since, if I'm mistaken, please let me, say something. Since probably what, April, when the grass started coming up, nobody cut the grass. Then finally, the guy did cut it, probably 2-3 months later, it's back up again. He should be getting cited every day. He's making a fool out of this borough.
So if there's any code issues, they can be emailed to me, we can submit them.
They did email, the one across from me, 2020. And I'm not saying just because it's me, MALK Properties LLC, they're out of New York. I've called them twice, they never called me back. The first time they said they don't own the property, they don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
This high.
vacant property, it's very
They're paying
pervasive.
taxes.
It's very pervasive throughout every middle class municipality throughout the state. If council is interested in pursuing those, I've talked with Craig. We've kind of mentioned that there's a high cost between fighting vacant property. We usually look towards, like, the county has a demolition program to help demo some of these. That's all that we can do. We do look for compliance first with our code enforcement officer, which is, I would say, is pretty successful with the number of cases filed, the violation letters that go out versus the ones we see in front of the magistrate. That's what me and Jamie, the process that we have before us. That's
Is that 524 Wildwood going to the magistrate? Did we cite them?
I would have to see. I just gave an overview of the numbers, but I'm more than happy afterwards to look up.
We need somebody to ride around town. It shouldn't be this board's and the public's responsibility to ride around and look for a tearing tip sheet. Then,
That's the contract that we have in place currently.
yeah, we need to get rid of that contract.
So we have two thoughts. We have discussed with the next contract, writing in a proactive approach where we can have someone driving around as we have in the past. But secondly, something that we haven't done this year because of the additional costs, have DPW cut the grass and then leave them.
They cost us money.
Correct.
And nobody comes after them. The properties are dead. There should be, you don't see this with county council, your legislators, your senators, your congressmen, your governor. You don't see them having blight next to them. Every places are all nice. But we, the people, have to suffer. And it's really irritating me. We can't continue to rip property. We can't continue to rip property down at $15,000, $20,000, $30,000, then maintain it at that, and nobody's on it. We got a beautiful piece of property down on West Railroad. It caught on fire several years ago. We ripped it down. We the people. Yeah, we got grants, but grants are we the people, where the grant money comes from. And from what I understand, when the other code enforcement gentleman was here, that brother and sister, they haven't talked to the father in over 20 years. And so there's no will, and they walked away from it. And it's a shame, because now we're maintaining it. You can put a beautiful house on it. It's level. Same way with up on Spruce Street. Those people should not have to live next to that house. You can't even see the house from the alley. That's how overgrown it is. And the street department cannot go in there and do that. You need a professional company with chainsaws and every other piece of equipment to do that. But it ain't gonna get done. I have to look at it on my porch. And I'm not saying just because it's me that everybody else in here, I'm sure, is looking at properties that with high grass and a building that should be condemned and everything else. But nobody's coming forward to say, you know what, let's they should, the county or whoever, legislators or whatever, should make a law. Let's Verona be the first one throughout the United States to do something about all this property. Ever go in the city? Oh my God.
So just a reminder to everyone to please keep utilizing the tip sheets, at least for the rest of this year. If anyone has a question about a particular address, you can send them to Jacob and he can give you the correct.
My feeling is start citing these people, quit sending registered letters out that it costs us money.
Yeah.
And they don't answer them anyway, they don't comply. Start citing them every week and let the magistrate deal with it. And if he throws it out, then we can come back and tell the people, hey, we did everything we could,
Right,
but the magistrate threw them out, so our hands are tied.
right. Well, Jamie is citing them, so let's continue to do that. Are there any other questions on the code enforcement report? If not, that brings us to item F, the police chief's report with Chief Dazzle.
You're back. I'll make this quick. All right, July, yes, Nancy was a typo. Thank you. Nice to meet you, Bill. 348 calls for the month of July. Pretty busy month, 23 arrests. Some keynotes for July. Thank you to council for supporting National Night Out. I appreciate it. Nancy, maybe next year, right? Us. Last Sunday, our department completed a transition from lethal shotguns to less than lethal. We did an in-house training, saved us oodles of money. So now we'll be utilizing those once I finish the policy run by the DA's office. Craig, I'll give you a quick glance at it to see if everything looks good. And then we'll start carrying less lethal shotguns in cruisers, which are beanbag rounds and pepper ball guns. Just one more option for us to use, instead of lethal force. Thursday, I will be meeting with Verona Gardens Management parent company regarding a camera partnership that they want to do with the borough. I'll provide more information once I have that meeting. Next, in 2 weeks, 2 officers will be going to Harrisburg for free training, free room and board, and meals for a week-long course on narcotics. And then lastly, goes along with parking, I have met with a lot of businesses, the business district, and they are requesting that 2-hour parking be turned to 3-hour parking. So you need to put that on your radar. We need to talk about it. In all honesty, we need to relook at the parking ordinance sooner rather than later. I know I mentioned that before, so that's all I have. Thank you. Susan actually made a bylaw with us twice now, and hopefully you do some more.
Any questions for Chief Dessel as he retreats to the corner?
Yes.
Chief, if I'm reading this correctly, our new officer, Officer Jackson, whom we just swore in tonight, is already handling calls.
One day before we went on not handling calls, he took report.
Okay.
Quick, a real quick job. Did any updates with management at Rivertown about upgrading their camera system there? And did
There's
they
no update.
ever get
They,
back to you? I'm sorry.
On the tree. Rivertown, and Craig can attest to this because I sent emails last year in a bitter battle with them and their camera system. They took it away from us, so we don't have it. So what I'm doing now, telling the officers to do, I am giving the property manager cell phone number and email address, and these people can call us and complain to her. So we have no access to cameras. So, yeah, and we know what happens down there. The accidents are one big thing that is problematic. Down there, I mean, it's daily, multiple times a day. So, it's just one of those things. But supposedly they got bought out by a different company and figured. No. Echo Realty got bought out by someone else.
Right.
Yeah, Echo Realty.
Well, Giant Eagle got bought out by Kroger, but I think, Echo Realty, is sister company of.
Well, regardless, someone else bought Echo Realty. We don't know who yet.
Yeah.
The company's not responsive to emails or phone calls, so it is what it is for right now. Is that it?
Is there any recourse for that?
No, it's a private company. They did it as a service. I mean, yes, it was nice, we would solve accidents down there when the cameras did work. But unfortunately, you know, we don't have it now, so, you know, we'll just direct the people to them. They can hear their complaints. So.
Final questions for Chief Vessel. Thank you, Chief. Next, we have the fire chief's report, Chief T.
Fire Company answered a total of 28 calls in the month of July. Those include 1 possible residential fire, 3 residential fires, 3 smoke conditions, 4 extinguished fires, 1 vehicle fire, 1 fuel spill, 1 water rescue, 1 elevator rescue, 2 calls for wires down, 1 odor investigation, 1 residential fire alarm, 4 commercial fire alarms, 1 carbon monoxide alarm, 2 natural gas leaks, and 2 vehicle accidents. Of those 28 calls, 13 of those were in the borough of Verona, and we provided mutual aid to 9 calls in Penn Hills, 4 calls into Homer, 1 call into Cheswick, and 1 call into Blombox. Last thing to add, for those that have questioned about our open house and spaghetti dinner that we typically have in July. We moved that to align with Fire Prevention Week in October. So our spaghetti dinner and open house will be on October 10th, which is a Saturday from 4 to 7 p.m.
Questions for Chief T?
I don't have a question, but I have a comment. I heard the same thing that you heard by multiple people as well. People here meeting, and I just want to say I stand with you guys.
Absolutely. We all stand with you. We're so grateful for your service.
It's very bothersome to me that there was this room. I think it's. I applaud this department for coming in here. This is awesome. Absolutely. I mean, this is the. I would like to really find out more about how that ever got going and so on. What I know, and it's really, it really does. It personally, because you know, I knew nothing till you stepped up there and spoke about it. It's just really.
If you find out, please let me know.
Well, I will, of course, yes.
I was also going to tease you since you missed a meeting. Is this your way of saying we're still here? You brought a whole group of here. But I'm sure Sean passed on that in line with our upcoming budget discussion. If you guys have items that you are interested in pursuing or having us pursue with you, please send us our way.
I will do, and moving on public safety like you, I'd be happy to do so.
We'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item H, we have the EMS report. Do you mind reading that, Councilor Parker?
July, there were 21 ALS calls, there were 19 BLS calls, 12 fire standbys, 2 refusals, 1 lift assist, 4 cancellations, 1 mutual aid, for a total of 60 calls.
Very good. Questions on the EMS report? Very good, thank you. Item I, Solicitor's Report, Mr. Alexander.
I think I did submit a written solicitor's report. Don't have anything else to add to it. I'll entertain any questions.
Questions for Mr. Alexander?
I have some questions. I just wanted to see if you had any updates on any of the ordinances.
We've prepared them and filed for the super committee meeting, but then council brought a few more suggested revisions to them. So Jacob and I are talking about it was the noise ordinance that had maybe 2 different revisions to it. They are advertised. They're advertised, ready to go, and they could be adopted at any meeting from now to 60 days. So from the super committee to 60 days. They could be adopted.
They're advertised with that last revision.
Yes.
Okay.
I also have a question. Back when Jason Daly was here, he suggested that we go down to 5 members. And I'm just curious if we ever talked about that. We need a referendum, like what's going
You talk about it all the time. I don't think it's a referendum. I think you just need to submit a petition to court. I've gone over that process at 3 different times. It's never picked up traction. To get it down from 7 to 5 members, and like a council, it would be over time, you know, that you would go down. But that, if council chooses to do that, we'll submit the petition.
I don't know if this one has to do with you, it might have to do with maybe Jacob, about the street signs and those parking events and everything down at the park. You know, our signs are gonna go up.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, those are part of the contract, but because the speed hump is being relocated, they were postponed until that's completed.
Thank you.
To clarify, Craig, what Kelly asked about a referendum for going to 5 people with a petition, what is the percentage of the population that needs to sign the petition to get it on?
I don't remember. Well, but I know there's gonna be a topic, I had that with me. We talked with them a few times. It may be 10% of the population, I don't know off the top of my head.
Okay, we'll find that out. Thank you.
Other questions for Mr. Alexander? I also do want to add that prior to this business meeting, we did hold an executive session to discuss 2 issues related to personnel and 1 legal issue. Without further ado, we'll move on to last but not least, item J, engineers report.
Submit my written report, just a few updates on it. I
Can
can,
you do us a favor, please, and say which number we're talking about?
yes. Number 5, the Act 152 demolition of 523 East Railroad. I'm still working with the COG to get that under contract. The contractor has already gained their county clearances. So as soon as we get that under contract, they're getting ready to go. The TDBG 50, number 6, the manholes were installed as part of that project. There are some minor issues with those, so I'll be in discussion with the contractor to take care of those. Number 8, for the Arch Street work, as I had mentioned, the valves were all raised this past week. We're waiting on a price for the 2 inlet repairs. And then he still has some asphalt repairs with the speed hump and some for backfill. Tentatively, speaking with him yesterday, it could be later this week or early next week on that. The weather is playing heck with their schedule right now.
Can I ask a question about that?
Yes,
There was a parking lot down by Sylvan Creek Flood that had a big step on. Did they to fix that already? I didn't hear you mention.
no, they originally it was gonna be stone, but they agreed to taper that with asphalt.
Oh,
So they're
great.
gonna fix that whenever they have the asphalt.
So
So,
the parking lot and the drive.
Correct.
Yeah, sorry, thank you.
the CDBG 51 item 9, I'm still working with the COG for those contracts so we can get those projects underway. Item 10, the LSA North Avenue reconstruction. We did receive bids. We received a single bid for that. It did come in over budget. Talking with some of the bidders that did not bid the project. Unfortunately, one of them had been awarded a fairly large project the day before ours bid. One contractor mentioned concerns about the timing of Oakmont Water and not allowing them time to finish the paving. And another contractor just mentioned the timing of the year that their schedule was too full to fit it in. At this point, for discussion would be to rebid, possibly looking at putting a strict time frame of like a May completion on it. Speaking with the 3 contractors that had the plans but did not bid, they are still interested in bidding it. They fit it in this year. So that's for consideration to reject the single bid that we did receive.
That how over budget?
It came in at 90,000 over budget. And I did speak with the contractor that submitted the bid. There was one line item out of whack with the estimate. And I had opened bids for another paving project 15 minutes after this one. And that one line item was more than double what it should have been. So I think they, just because of timing, they came up with a number for what they wanted and they backed into it. They didn't use like regular prices, which we anticipated. The multimodal for Drum Street on 12, we're getting the survey scheduled for that so we can start preliminary design on that streetscape project. And then item 14, the CDB 52, they made award announcements this past month. We did receive 54,000 for ADA project. That is at along Second Avenue and North Avenue, along that corridor there at the top of the hill to replace ADA ramps. We were unsuccessful for the sanitary project along Penn Street, so we'll continue to look for funding for that. And as you mentioned earlier, we were awarded the Green Light Go application, $232,340. That is for the full replacement of the signal at the plaza. I just this afternoon, I received a meeting invite from PennDOT. That is August 19th. I'll be attending. It's a kickoff meeting because the Green Light Go funds come from the state. So there's certain processes to follow with that. So after that meeting, I'll have more information of when exactly they're available. And then we did submit a DCD multimodal. That's to continue the sidewalk improvements and accessibility. This one's focusing on the East Railroad corridor, especially between James and Grant, where a lot of the sidewalks are brick uneven, the trees haven't lifted. And then we submitted a GEDTF for Penn Street reconstruction to pave and make some drainage improvements along Penn Street.
Was that the one that had to go to COG by Friday?
Right. Yeah, it will officially be submitted this Friday. It's with the COG right now. And then we do have the statewide LSAs coming up. They'll open in September, due in November. Those are the larger pots of money that we can look for just about anything to be funded with those. And CDBG will be opening up mid to late September.
Questions or comments from Mr. Fitch?
Yes, I have a question for Mr. Pitch.
Yes.
I go to the post office every day to get mail. Why did they widen that instead of putting a turning arrow? They got a turning arrow coming into town by the old police station to go up Wildwood, but not the left-hand turn. And every time I go into the post office, I got to hear it from not only the public, but the guys inside. Everybody's asking, why did they do that? They took parking away. The elderly has to park, either on the boulevard up further or on South Avenue. And if you do park across the street, where the dentist office is, you take your life into your own hands because those cars come flying into town.
Yeah, so the design of the signal is all based off of traffic counts, and PennDOT regulates that.
I'm not saying, I'm not saying it's your fault.
No,
I'm just asking.
When it was first designed, I asked the same questions as to why there wasn't a turn arrow and things like, and it's all based off of PennDOT standards. So it's based off the number of cars that make the left versus the number of cars that make the right coming into town. So we have very little control over that because it's all of their standards. I will say before the meeting started, Trish and I were reviewing a concept. The sidewalk is very wide in front of the post office. So we're going to review a potential addition there where we'll eliminate a few feet of the sidewalk to provide essentially off-street parking. It'll still be parallel parking. Won't be able to do the full length because there is a utility pole there, but there'll be like bump out parking to where people can get off the travel lane more and be safer getting in and out of the vehicles.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm not PennDOT, but I think there's more people that make a left-hand turn than a right-hand turn. Up on Wildwood. And the other thing too is, our budget is, going to be coming due. Could you get a price on this circle out here to refinish it and paint it?
Yeah, absolutely.
I absolutely agree with you, Mayor, about the need for a left-hand turn signal there. Matt, are there any options if it's maybe not quite meeting PennDOT specs, but we both community within the state of the state? To potentially update that.
So I will go back to our traffic unit and discuss with them. It's possibly something that we could have a field meeting with PennDOT and just express the interest in. An actual upgrade at this point, if they would allow the turn lane, it's not very pricey. The signal heads are a couple thousand, and then you just change the timing within the box. It's just more or less all the signals are permitted through PennDOT, so it's whether they would permitted or not. So we can start that conversation.
Yeah. Other questions or comments from Mr. Pitt?
I have a question. Would you say the second and center, that corner was finished?
All of second and center with the multimodal project, all four corners will get, well, not the one we already did, but the other three will get finished. We'll have the bids open. I hope to have them for the next meeting, so we can award it in September. And then we'll have the contracts starting after that. It's a total of, apologize, I can't remember the number off the top, but I think it's somewhere around 49 total ramps.
Regarding item 10, the LSA for North Avenue. Yeah, it's a resident of North Avenue, and I know there's several of us. I'm curious to hear what everyone thinks. I don't think it's fiscally responsible to eat $90,000 to have that meeting completed this year. So I agree with the proposal to rebid for next year with a deadline of May. To hopefully get that in budget.
We'll rebid in the next month here, but we'll have it built into the contract that it has to be completed by end of May. Because the plants will open first or second week of April. So that gives them a little bit of time, but we don't want them to bid it now and pave it in August.
Correct, yeah.
Well, and learning from some past experiences of Arch Street, waiting for utilities to finish their work, we just kept getting delayed and delayed. So even if we would choose to award now, there's no guarantees that it would be done in time, because if they get delayed too long, then plants are going to be closed in October something.
Lastly, I just want to add that Nat has indicated there are 2 grants that will be closing in September. One is the LSA, which can be used for a wide variety of funds. One is CDG. Council think of projects, ideas, especially as we also lead up to our budget discussions. I don't know if there's any now we want to mention. Capital plans, time on this.
There's a lot. So I would be curious to hear if council has any ideas. But I mean, there's no shortage of things to spend money on.
We've been pretty successful with ADA ramps. So I will touch base with the COG in the county, because the rendering we discussed about the park and the post office included a ADA spot. So typically they don't pay for just sidewalk. They like to do ramps as well, but it's a possibility that a project like that could qualify for CDBG.
Very good. Anything else? With that, we'll move on to section 9, council updates. The first is item A, announcement of upcoming community events with Councilor Avanza.
Thank you, Madam President, and good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
We're going to start with newsletter. We are now ready to go to the printer, and you should have your newsletter in your mailbox very, very soon. And this will be your autumn issue, which will cover September, October, and November. And I will add, we thank you folks that do send in an article. We always appreciate them, so thank you very much. Winboro Ministries, the next community dinner will be held on Wednesday, August the 26th, from 4:30 to 6:30, and it will be at the Verona Methodist Church. And council will be doing the hosting of the dinner this time. ALOM, which is Allegheny League of Municipalities, the banner community application will be going out this month. And to explain very quickly, this application is a prestigious certification that recognizes local governments for outstanding, responsible governance and community care. And we, I'm happy to say, are proud of the banner community. And also, tomorrow, August the 12th, will be the sidewalk social at Cribs Field. And that would start at 6 o'clock, and it generally goes until 8 o'clock. And all the Verona residents are always welcome to come to this. It's a very nice gathering. And I want to thank Sandy Esch for sharing this information with all of us. And at this time, oh, and one more other thing, excuse me. There will be a wrestling event, and that's going to be on Saturday, September the 12th. And it will be at the Cribs Field, starting at 6 p.m. And if there are any questions or comments at this time, I would be very glad to take them.
I have a question. Have we made a final determination on what we're serving at the dinner on August 26th?
I have not gotten that yet. But Shirley is here. Shirley, do you have a menu for us?
From what I understand, there's gonna be filet mignon. All provided by Nancy Carpenter. No, I think we had briefly talked about it last time, and I think we decided on doing hamburgers, hot dogs, baked beans. We were going to try to do some vegetarian soups if it's possible, if it's not too hot. We're gonna do either macaroni and cheese or macaroni salad, whichever you would prefer. Just let me know, and we'll go from there, plus drinks and desserts, which I believe Trish said that everybody on council was gonna provide 2 dozen cookies each,
Thank you for that.
and no Oreos. I'm just, they have to be home baked. So whichever you prefer, just let me know and we'll do that. You
Let's
know,
go with that reminder about the cookies.
and about the macaroni and cheese or macaroni salad, whichever you would prefer.
Salad.
Oh, I think cheese, because kids love mac and cheese.
Yeah, but-
It's not about you, Nancy. It's about the community. It is.
It's council's choice.
Thank you for that information, Shirley. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Great.
And thank you for all that you do.
Oh, thank you very much. I thank all of you also.
Other questions or comments from Councilor Provenza? I want to also thank you for mentioning the wrestling. Since we have so many members of the fire department here tonight, we want to formally invite you all to not only attend, but participate in the match on the 12th.
Cool.
If any of you or all of you are interested, we more than welcome it, along with anything else you would like to do in terms of outreach or selling things, et cetera. So best person to talk to would be Jason Alberti, but we could put him.
I spoke with him already.
Perfect.
Maybe a
Great.
fire truck ladder match.
Well, the chief and the fire crew chief, they'll be in the match, so.
We'll see. It'll be a good show on the 12th.
Trying to do what you're saying is something.
All right, that brings us to item B, with Councilor Carpenter.
Yeah.
There's 2 items you have tonight. It may be easier to comment on the plant-based subdivision coming next month, since I know we did have at least 1 or 2 comments about code enforcement, high grass, what are other options for vacant lots? As well as then a proposal which will be well within the budget for getting we would expand.
Regarding land bank, it's actually gonna be happening next week. Our meeting starts at 6 o'clock next week instead of 7. And this is a very interesting concept. It's from Tricog Land Bank. And one named Ann Lewis and another person whose name I'm not remembering at the moment. We'll be doing a presentation on what they can offer for us that addresses blight. It doesn't happen overnight, but it's at least doing something. So looking forward to that.
Who is the land bank? Is it nonprofit? Is it? I think
They'll-
we'll find out for next week.
They'll present all that next week.
Perfect.
In terms of the proposal by Susan Hockenberry, yes, that's very much within our budget. Basically, when I discussed this with her, we wanted her to start as soon as possible, working with Jacob on the budget. When we hired Jacob, we knew that this was not something he was familiar with. And Susan is, and the total amount of time would be about 240 hours. That would be between $2,500 and $3,000, depending on if she goes over those hours. And we look forward to having her come and teach Jacob about budgeting and the proposal is in your packet. If you have any questions about that, I can try to answer
I
it.
do have a question.
Okay,
You want me to ask now or do?
you can ask now, and if I can't answer it, we can ask Susan.
It's come to my attention that we did hire somebody for Jacob. And it was Jason Daly's wife. If I'm not mistaken, and she was paid a lot of money.
Not for doing the budget.
She was paid her money, did we not vote on that? Because
That I can't answer. I don't know. That wasn't anything that went through me.
somebody approved it.
Yeah. I don't know.
Jason's wife, or,
When Teresa was out,
yeah,
Yeah,
she was here, but she wasn't, this is,
we didn't pay her.
we did, it's a part of the contract that we can add on the services.
Nobody was told that.
For what, like,
The pay-
like the approval of it? It's, that contract was already set. This
I
proposal.
mean, I don't think anybody else knows about this, do you? Oh,
We can resolicit that proposal and clarify any add-ons. So like this proposal though is specifically for creation of the 2027 budget. We just noticed as well, it also includes a plan to update our planning.
yeah, to prepare, she's planning on helping to prepare a 5-year capital plan. And all kinds of other things, but it's right there. But in terms of Jason's life, I know.
Right, any other questions or comments?
Oh, I have one other thing just to mention.
Go ahead.
I did go to the prom meeting
Oh, thank you.
in July. It lasted about 10 minutes. And so there wasn't anything,
Long one.
what's that?
That was a long one.
Yeah, I know. So there wasn't anything very substantial. I mean, just the usual stuff. They deal with a lot of the
CDBG trends.
grants. They deal with a lot of the grants, and he was very clear about the one grant that had to be turned into him by last Friday, which Matt was able to do. Which one was that, Matt?
The GEDTF for the
That's
Penn
right.
Street.
Right. Up through Penn Street. So anyway, that was turned in, and Mr. Frank is looking at it, and we'll turn them all in by this Friday.
Oh, very good, thanks for that update. There's no other questions, good?
Madam, one sentence. You were too quick. I was going to say it and you jumped in. I would like to thank each and every one of you for taking time out of your busy schedules to come here. But don't make it just a one time. I think this is your town and you need to know what goes on. And you folks need to be here more often.
Very nice.
So I thank you all for coming. Do come back.
Thank
you.
Thank you, good point, Council President. With that being said, we will move on to item 10, old business, there is none. Item 11 is the consent agenda. Council has been provided with a list of bills and a list of minutes, as well as a resignation from part-time patrol officer Jordan Walkley. At this time, I will accept a motion to accept the consent agenda.
I will make the motion to. Consent agenda.
We have a first by Councilor Gamillis. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Councilor Carpenter. Are there any questions or comments?
I just would like to say, I know that there's a couple of blanks in the minutes and we're working on putting those in. So the vote would be, you know,
Accept them with those.
with those additions. Yeah.
Yes, the May 12th minutes has a blank for 2 seconds. Reviewing our notes, we had Kelly. If no one remembers differently, Kelly, is it okay to go with that? Yep. We did also have a letter from Officer Walkley in our packet. Just of course want to thank him for his service to her. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Section 12, action items. Council has also been provided with an updated contract from Sable Kennel for animal control in the borough. At this time, I accept a motion to accept the updated contract.
I'll make that motion to accept the updated contract with Signal Kennel.
We have a motion first by Councilor Carpenter. Is there a second? Second by Councilor Rodriguez. Are there any questions or comments?
Was there something yesterday, Mayor, that we had talked about, to make sure that we added into this contract or to check that it was already in? Do you remember, Trish? Or Jacob?
The drive-through town,
Like once a week or something?
yeah,
Do we have that in here anywhere? Do we know?
I did not see a drive-through.
Monthly report. I think it was a monthly report.
it was a monthly report, but they were also, I don't know if,
You want me to reach out
Sandy, do
to?
you remember that? The dog?
For Sable Kennels.
You don't remember they were supposed to drive through town once a week?
I can't remember that.
And they would always say, you know, in the report, one dead dog every month. Do you remember that?
Oh, I do remember that.
Yeah,
Was all the way back.
when Earl was here too.
Yeah.
No, I thought we had
Hoffman that did that. That was the
Yeah,
same.
that was Sable.
Was it?
No,
We had Hoffman and then we had.
Yeah.
We talked.
Are there any other questions or comments?
I wanted to point out to everybody, I believe that their price went up from 175 to 190, just for transparency.
We never asked for a new contract. No, but do you want me to reach out to Sable and see if they'd be willing to come through once a week and maybe do a report?
Is it the will of council to have our solicitor reach out to Sable to ask for those two items?
It's definitely a monthly report, but don't we already get one? Or is that just the invoice?
We're supposed to get a monthly report. Even from the last dog test we had.
I think that the monthly report is considered to be part of the invoice.
We do
Because
get,
they state on the invoice what
they do, which I can provide the council, you know, that invoice. The past couple months, it's been zero.
Okay, great. So let's start with Mr. Russell, including that in the packet. If that doesn't provide enough transparency, we will reach out for additional.
Okay.
Okay. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Are there any opposed?
Came more on.
Item 12, council has been provided with a resolution to accept the Main Street allocating funding to support the Diamond Way Destination Placemaking Project. This is a collaboration between the Verona Chamber of Commerce and the Borough of Verona. This is for a no matched amount of $100,000. At this time, I accept a motion to accept this resolution.
Make that motion.
I'll second.
We have a motion first by Councilor Carpenter, a second by Councilor Sperling. Are there any questions or comments? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Are there any opposed? Motion carries. We are thrilled, item C, to have received an application of interest from Josh Briska to join our Parks and Recreation Board as a member. At this time, I will accept a motion to nominate Josh Briska to our Parks and Recreation Board.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Motion by Councilor Sperling, a second by Councilor Provenza. Are there any questions or comments? Welcome. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Question first.
Oh,
Who's on the board? Nobody.
We have 3 current board members.
I thought everybody quit.
no.
We gotta forget them. I can't keep up with what.
No, but Josh does bring board out to a quorum.
He did it. President?
No,
Who's the president?
Jason Alberti.
Oh, okay. Okay, quit.
And Jim Ashbaugh and Brian Duncan are the other members that are currently on. And Josh will make 4.
Okay.
Let's try that again. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Are there any opposed? Very good. Welcome, Josh. Motion Item D, a motion to hire Caleb Black as a part-time patrol officer in the Borough of Verona.
I'll make the motion, pardon me, I'll make the motion to hire Caleb Black as the part-time patrol officer.
Enthusiastic Bert. Second by Counselor Provenza, a second by Counselor Canales. Are there any questions or comments? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Are there any opposed? Motion carries. Welcome, Officer Black. Item E, council has been provided with a proposal from Susan Hockenberry's Consulting, specifically to provide budget training to our borough manager for this upcoming budget preparation. At this time, I'm accepting motion to move forward with this proposal.
I'll make that motion.
First by Counselor Carpenter, is there a second? Awesome. Second by Counselor Luelba. Are there any questions or comments? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Are there any opposed?
Nay, for me.
That's okay. Do we need roll call? Motion carries 6-1.
I'm gonna go with nay on that too.
Not even issue.
No, we need roll call. All right. When I call your name, say yay or nay. Counselor Sperling,
Nay.
Counselor Gonzalez,
Yeah.
Counselor Rodriguez, Counselor Carpenter,
Yeah.
myself is a yay, Counselor Provenza,
Yay.
and Counselor Lowe. Motion carries 5-2. Item F, council has been provided with a resolution to apply for the next round of Main Street's Allegheny funding through the county. This funding is to provide technical assistance to the Borough of Verona to develop a business revitalization. Great, we have a motion first by Councilor Provenza, second by Councilor Loalvo. Are there any questions or comments?
Yeah, I just wonder if we could, for anyone who doesn't know, or for the public, define the difference between the other resolution, Main Street's Allegheny resolution, and this one. What's the difference?
So the first resolution is for us to administer the grant for Diamond Way. That project for Main Streets was about kind of like a single initiative that was taking place. This new round of funding is for technical assistance to help develop a plan to better our Main Streets program. So with this one, it would be more focused on kind of outlining steps that we could take to better our main streets.
Could you give a couple examples of what that would involve, like what that would result in?
Municipalities that do not have existing business revitalization plans will receive a detailed implementable strategic action plan for their business district within the first 6 months. Municipalities with existing plans will receive enhanced strategies. And I believe this is also going to match.
That's gonna be my next question.
Yeah.
How much is it for? How much are we receiving, or are they just doing it?
This was where I think that Main Streets Allegheny is partnered with like a consulting firm that would step in and provide us with that plan.
Fourth Economy Consulting and Evolve EA.
So this doesn't look like it involves money.
No, I think it's we would get a grant, the Allegheny County on our behalf would pay this consulting firm to give us the revitalization plan. And what they would outline is steps like, if they're recommending we do a similar Diamond Way project, maybe in another alleyway, there's a way to connect them. If there's some like beautification projects we can do, they would outline that and what steps we can take to achieve those. So this is more about creating a plan than it is actually implementing something.
Right, but the plans aren't free.
Well, this is what the funding is, the program is for, is to pay for the plan.
But to your question, if we're actually receiving the funds and paying them, or just working with a consultant, not sure, but we can get clarification.
Yes.
So it shouldn't be, no cost to the borough if we are successful. Any other questions or comments on the Main Streets Allegheny Technical Assistance Program? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Are there any opposed? Motion carries. Last but not least, item G, we have a motion To advertise a part-time administrative assistant position, council has been provided with a position advertisement outlining the details and responsibilities, as well as number of hours per week, which is 15 hours per week. Tentative 5 hours per day for 3 days at a rate of $19.05 per hour.
The other thing to note of that we have about the same amount of money as what this says for an additional administrative assistant support.
Yes,
And so it's covered in the budget.
thank you. Would you like to expand on anything?
No, so those are, well, this was brought up last meeting, as something, there's some programs that the borough runs, like the regulated rental. I'm in there full time, handling things, as the borough manager. We also have Teresa helping me, who's there part-time. She, usually around 25 hours a week. But the increase of the service that we're providing, the increase in our processes, we've just seen a lot of things, for lack of a better term, fall through the cracks. So like one of those regulated rental, we aim to get more than 15,000, usually around $17,000 from that. It's a lengthy process. It takes time. We don't have the man hours kind of between us to handle things like that. So seeing that we had some a line item in the budget for this, I put forth the proposal to bring somebody on that could help with those programs and also better cover the window, help answer calls, and do some other administrative for us.
So that being said, at this time, I will accept the motion to advertise the part-time administrative assistant position.
Make that motion.
First by Councilor Carpenter, is there a second?
Well, you go on.
No, you gotta make a second, then you can.
I'll
or some-
second it.
someone needs to.
Second by Councilor Lobo. Are there any additional questions? or comments?
I have an additional question. So, is this position strictly till the end of the year, or is it going to go on till next year? Because, so we're saying here that we're going to go till December 31st. Is this person going to stay on after the first of the year? Or are we gonna cut them loose at the end of the year? Is this a definite end of, December 31st, that's done, they're done, it's over? Or are we going to go on? Because that's what I'd like to know.
This would be a permanent position. I've talked to Teresa, because she is part-time, and the first kind of avenue is increasing hours. She indicated that, that's not really, she'd rather stay part-time for some personal reasons. This is actually exactly the same agreement we have with Teresa, just adjusted for lesser hour amount.
Any other questions? or
I have a
comments?
comment. At our town, we have 2,200 people here. And you want 2 part-time secretaries, borough manager. Because you can stay here all night, and do the job.
Do you stay all night and do your job?
Sometimes,
And Jacob does as well.
but when you're on salary, you put in hours, you don't just leave at 4 o'clock. And you want us to just keep paying. This whole thing was like, let's just keep paying. It's absolutely insane to me that we're even talking about this. We just hired him. We have a person. Now we need 2 people. Yeah. That's insane.
This was actually a recommendation from Jason too. But
we don't listen to anything he says any other time, and we're gonna listen to him now, because we're gonna just keep spending it.
This is completely responsible, as our finance chair pointed out. We do have this budget in our budget, and this will be well within.
But you didn't make any other cuts. We're just gonna keep going.
We had stuff. We're gonna spend it.
We welcome your comments about things and cut the budget discussion, but for this particular item, it is within budget and it is an express need by staff and council. Are there any other questions or comments? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Are there any opposed?
Nay.
Nay.
Roll call. Counselor Sterling.
Nay.
Counselor Camillus.
I hate to say it, nay.
Counselor Rodriguez. Counselor Carpenter.
Yes.
I'm a yes. Counselor Provenza.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-3. At this time, we'll move on to section 13, comments from the public. Council will once again hear comments from residents and business owners on public related matters. Please approach the podium or raise your virtual hand. Clearly state your name and address and try and limit your comments to 3 minutes or less. Comments, as a reminder, should focus on our business, policies, and actions. Council encourages thoughtful feedback on decisions and performance while maintaining respectful and constructive dialogue. Are there any comments from the public?
Give me your responsibility.
Sandy for 50 Bell, 619 Third Avenue. Thank you for your nay votes, to hiring an assistant to the borough manager. I've never heard of anything more ridiculous. Before Jason Daly left here, and I was at the meeting, where he told you to tighten your budget. All you have done since he has left is spend money. I understand her door hanger at election said difficult name, simple solution. Is your simple solution to spend taxpayer money? That's the answer, Trish. Whether it's in the budget or not, it's ridiculous how council spends taxpayer money. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment.
Did you miss me last week?
I
Last
did.
month? I was on vacation. Hi, Davis, Ridge Avenue. The first thing is, next week starts school. I talked to Yuji, he was supposed to start the crosswalk painting. He's running out of time. With the weather coming, are they gonna be painted in time? I doubt. Second, I says with the budget talks coming up, put in the budget for the speed bumps on Southern Avenue. That's very important because the other day I was out walking, I watched 3 cars coming in from Allegheny River Boulevard, blow 2 cars from the other direction, blow the stop sign. So we need those speed humps put in. So put it in the budget somewhere, somehow. And the last thing I have is, okay, you're talking about the handicap parking spaces on Ridge Avenue. As everybody knows, Judy had one. Judy lost hers because she has a designated spot. There's others on Ridge Avenue that don't have a designated spot that park in front of their house. I said, we have no sidewalk on Ridge Avenue. So when you took Judy's handicap spot that was at the base of her steps to allow her to get into her own home, you took that right away from her. So the solution is, oh, if somebody parks there, call the police. That's not an emergency. We need to have, for not only Judy, but for the other, I think there's 6 or 7 homes that don't have a parking space in front of their home, a spot that is marked in front of their walkway. No parking. Put the yellow line there. That's all I'm asking. Not only for just Judy, but for the other residents on the street. The other residents have a parking space on their street. And they can pull in there. Judy has it. But did you ever come up and look at her parking space? She can't get out of her parking space and climb up over the hill. First off, I wouldn't want to climb up over the hill with groceries. Would you want to climb up over a 3-foot embankment in mud and slip and slide as it become ice? All I'm asking for is for the residents on the street that you put a yellow line in front of their places. As you know, Miss Benzanga here has a space on the street. She doesn't have a handicap spot, but she parks on the street. And if her walkway gets blocked to her steps, she has to go around, and so do the others. It's not fair to them. Oh, yes, and lastly, forgot about that. The guide rail, when it's gonna be fixed on Lower Bridge. And it's gonna be put in guide rail, not guide wire. Guide wire is illegal. And are they gonna just do the section where the accident occurred, or are they gonna go from top to bottom?
Thank you, Susie.
We're still waiting for the insurance to send us a check for the guide rail. So it's whenever Farmers Insurance mails us those funds.
Did you involve our insurance company to talk to them and say, where's our money at?
That's yes, yeah. That's our first step. Our insurance talks with their insurance. The issue was, it started going through one insurance process. Found out the person driving was actually driving for Uber. So the claim got denied. So then Uber's insurance, which I think is through Farmers, had to pick it up. When I last spoke to them, they had all the information they needed. It was going through their process, and they were going to mail us a check.
But you don't know when we're getting the check.
No, they haven't indicated a time frame.
Well, I don't know, maybe get the attorney involved in this to say, hey, we want our money, we gotta fix this guardrail.
Yeah, we'll definitely follow up. Are there any other comments from the public?
Yeah, if we gotta get that guide rail fixed before winter, because it's a bad street. The borough usually does maintain it, but now you're putting everybody at risk by not having it there. And the people that are trying to sell that house on the corner, good luck, they're not gonna have nobody want. When they look out there and they see that, I would buy a house that had apparently an accident. And then they inquire as to how bad it was, how close it came to their house, because we had the faulty guide rail.
Thank you, Susie. Are there any other comments from the public? Are there any comments online? Seeing anyone approaching the podium or any additional comments at this time, I will take a motion to adjourn. First, there's person has a comments and like council questions or comments. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, motion carried. Yeah.